Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are talking that good old American Family, this crazy ass show. This is episode 6, not Today, Satan. That's an interesting title. Natalia questions whether she can trust an unexpected set of allies as questions about her past arise, painful memories are unearthed. Lamont, what did you think about this crazy ass episode for this crazy ass show?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you watched our last review, Lamont predicted that when you have people who are as vulnerable as Nutty Nat, there always is going to be someone to try to take advantage of her. I said that the very last episode, not knowing what was coming. And I thought that this show painted a brush into the pain because I also said I felt sad for, I had sympathy for her, and it painted a brush on where that pain come from. We learned that even though Natty was crazy, and I call her Nutty Natty, that her mom, Kristine, was beating her, abusing her, making her walk around the neighborhood with no shoes on. And when you start doing that to people's psyche, people who are already a little delusional, a little psychiatric, that can just make it worse. And so I thought this was an interesting episode.
Oh no, Lamont, that's interesting right there. Was she really getting beat? Or was that something that was made up in Natalia's mind? I don't know what to believe. I don't know if she's 7, 22, or 45 at this point. Now, I'm going to address exactly what you said, but this is one of the dumbest shows I've ever seen in my entire life. But it is entertaining, and our reason to say it's dumb is because it's just so outlandish and wild. Like this, I've never seen anything so unrealistic. Now I know this is based on a true story to a degree, but this story has been remixed to death by different versions, movies, TV shows, documentaries. Even every time you see the very beginning of this episode, it says this is based on, some events that are true, but it's been dramatized, fictionalized, just for your entertainment. So we don't, I can't take it at face value, but again, I'm entertained. Now, watching those scenes, I don't know if she was really beat, man. I think she's crazy, delusional, and she just been making that up in her head for some type of sympathy or pity party. And also, Lamont, even if Kristine was beating her, is it justified? I'm definitely on the fence with that. Leaning towards it is justified. I mean, if you try to harass and manipulate and take advantage of my family for thousands of dollars, and you lying and you try to kill me multiple times and stuff, there's just really nothing that you can do. That's redeemable. I mean, they did all that and still paid this woman's rent and bought her food and all. Only thing you would have got from me is a drop kick in the chest into traffic, and they went above and beyond more than once. So I don't. And what's crazy, Lamont, I got to be honest with you. I kind of agree with you. I did kind of feel sorry for Natalia, even though she's so damn evil. Like, but I'm mad at myself for feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was funny.
Why? Because you're human. I appealed to your humanity and the audience's humanity. We are still human beings, and if this person is a child, it doesn't excuse the behavior, but it gives you background and insight as to why these type of mistakes are happening.
So let me ask you this: if she's really an adult, would you feel sorry for her?
Yeah, because Michael Jackson was an adult, but he had the mind of a 12-year-old. Yeah, I still feel sorry for him. They need help. She needs help. She needs clinical medical help.
Man, I don't know what to think. Lamont, but think about this though, bro. Like, even a 7-year-old knows how to put shoes on. At the very beginning of the episode, where she's walking around in the alleys and back streets, picking up trash and food and dumpsters, she's barefooted. Come on, man. You know how to put on shoes when you in kindergarten. Why is she not walking around with shoes? Now, when she was having the flashbacks and Kristine was like, hey, you're on punishment, I want you to go walk around the block. Even walking around the block is not that bad, but okay, she has a condition to where it's painful for her. But there was no excuse why she was walking around barefoot at the beginning of the show. Like it helped me understand that. Why was she doing that? Why was she purposely walking around with bloody feet? Right when Jennifer, the evil EBT thief, approached her in her minivan. Why was she barefoot, Lamont? I want to ask her.
Dude, it's silly. And let's get her name right. Her name is Wagon Dragon Cynthia. That's who that was. Wagon Dragon Cynthia. Okay. And the minute she pulled up B. Avery, I said to myself, she is the type of woman that date black dudes. I said
Man, you know what?
I said it. I was like, because she's trying to talk with the kind of swag, and she's got a little bit of that swag. I knew it from jump, and I also knew from jump, because I said it last week, somebody's going to try to take advantage of this girl. Yeah. And Nutty Nat is probably going through PTSD, which is why she's walking around without shoes on. She's going through the trauma of being beat and being sent out the house, walking around with shoes on. And sometimes when people go through that kind of trauma and they're hurting, they think that revisiting that trauma is going to make them feel better, and it doesn't, because you don't have the help you need to better help your mind make better choices. And I was laughing at the girl knocking over dumpsters, picking up snacks and eating them. I was like, come on, chick.
Yeah.
Golly. So yeah, I felt bad for her, and I still feel bad for her, but I was happy that this episode gave her some moments of comfort, even though it comes at an expense of you scratch my back, I'm scratching yours. At least she did get some moments of comfort.
Okay. Before I address that, you said, okay, could Kristine and Michael have done anything more for this person that they kicked out the house?
When you say, yeah, they could have intervened and got her some psychiatric help. Sure could have.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I gotta hear what y'all think on this right here, because I mean, you pay for somebody's room and board and all of this, and I mean, that's just enough right there. So I was laughing when she was kind of talking trash at the end. Go ahead.
Think about it like this. You're saying that they're paying for her room and board, which are things that she needs, correct?
Yeah.
She needs the room and board. But in order to take care of herself, what does she need more? Psychiatric medical help or the room and board? Because you see what having the room and board without the psychiatric help has led her to: picking up trash out of dumpsters, eating it. They could have helped her with the medical help, or as I said from the jump, behavior, take her ass to the fire station. It's a safe surrender.
Okay. Well, hey, there you go right there. A mixture of both. What is something you just said? Oh gosh, because I wanted to address what you said about Kristine. And then what was we talking about right before that? I'm so sorry that I forgot.
You asked me about you was talking about why couldn't the girl put on some shoes when she met Wagon Dragon Cynthia and
it was something else.
Kristine beating her, and you think that could just be some kind of bad dream or something like that, or a bad vision she's having.
Yeah, it'll come back to me hopefully. But and you're right, her name is not Jennifer, it is Cynthia Mans. She was disgusting to me, bro. Like, oh my gosh. I don't like Natalia. I said that I wanted to give her a drop kick in the chest into the street. But Cynthia is just the worst. Like, so intrusive. Like, no, I'm gonna take you home. And she basically kidnapped the girl. Can I use your bathroom? Like, are you serious? Where's your cell phone and all of this stuff? Oh, you got an EBT card right here. And the way that she stole the groceries, well, not stole the groceries, but just manipulated her like, hey, I'm going to invite you to cook, but since I'm cooking, how about you pay for the groceries and we'll just send you home with scraps? Like, I want Cynthia to get hit by a car. I do. She, not only is she manipulating everybody around her, she's doing it under the name of God. Like, oh, what if she's a blessing, come down to help us, and her husband, they in the church? I mean, like, That I don't care what you've been through, man. That's just low to me. And she has no remorse. And just that audacity to get mad at somebody when they're trying to call you out on your BS too, because when they was at the doctor's office, oh yeah, I'm this, yeah, I'm mother freaking upset right now, raising her voice, and I want her to get hit by a car, bro. This even though I don't like Natalia, Cynthia made me feel sorry for Natalia again. You agree or disagree?
Unfortunately, one of the things I've done as a business owner was respiratory therapy outpatient services working with children. And I got exposed to working with a family that do the same thing Wagon Dragon Cynthia does. And it was one of those weird religious cult sectors where all they do, white family, and wear skirts all the time.
Yeah.
And all they do is adopt black babies. Black babies, get the check, and then indoctrinate their asses. And this is just a microcosm of what is going on in real life today, B. Avery, because religion has been weaponized to keep people at bay. We see it with Christian nationals. You know, 1 minute, you know, God, Jesus Christ is this and he's that. And then the next minute you forget the teachings of Jesus Christ. And that's basically what these people are doing. And when you do these little religious sects, you are allowed to get your church tax free. You don't pay taxes. And when you take in all these kids, you get Medicaid, you get their disability, and then you get a check from the state because you've had to take them away from their parents. And it is, to say it's disgusting is an understatement. But then there are situations where I've worked with kids who parent is getting all that, but really and truly care for the children and not just putting a roof over their head.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you, do you think that Cynthia actually cares for any of these children at all, or are they just a check?
Both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both, definitely. But the question that we would ask the audience and someone like her, if we were to take away the check, would you still be able to provide the love to the child that you're providing with the check?
Yeah. Good question.
And that would be the answer.
Yeah, good question. And y'all let us know y'all thoughts down in the comment section. What do you think about the husband, the pastor of the church? You know, seems like he's doing good things. Typical.
Typical. Typical. A lot of black dudes, when they fail at everything else, it's very easy to start a church. I mean, it's no different from failed YouTubers all of a sudden wanting to be Christian. I want to be right-wing nationalists on YouTube to get an audience. If you know 3 lines in the Bible, you can get an audience of people that'll come pay tithes and offering to pay your bills. And I've lived a life where I had a chance to see this over and over. My stepdaddy, who was doing drugs and an alcoholic, hit rock bottom and then decided he wanted to start a church in a fucking storage unit.
There you go. Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. So I don't think the husband is as sinister as the wife. He may be a little ignorant and naive, you know, but I don't think that. I don't know. I don't think he's there primarily to collect the checks, you know, from the children. I think he's a dummy. But I think that Cynthia here is the mastermind, and you know, I mean, he may be a little bit guilty, but you know, I don't think he's a saint. You know,
they co-signing, bro. They co-signing. They are 100% co-signing on this. Okay. It's just that you send Wagon Dragon Cynthia out there to get the hostages, and then you bring them in to daddy to set the narrative for the family.
Yeah. One thing I'm glad about seeing is it didn't seem like there was any type of sexual misconduct or harassment. You know,
not yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
I hope not.
Not yet. I already done told you, B. Avery. I've seen it. I've worked with it. I've got a story for almost everything you can see in life. And
that's not funny.
These religious sects like this, sectors is what I'm saying. If y'all think I'm saying sex, I'm saying sex as in sectors.
Yeah, SECT.
they always have someone touching these kids or exposing them to these crazy things like giving massages while the parent is butt naked in the tub, stuff like that. It never fails in
Oh,
these things, never.
you
And
know,
we're going to see that in this show probably.
one of my most memorable courses in college, I'm pretty sure a lot of people took it. It was teaching about the differences between religions, sex, cults, and something else. And of course, there's similarities, but there's also a big difference. It was a fun course. So I don't know. I just kind of thought about that right there. What did you think about the detective at the end that came in trying to save the day? Natalia, I'm going to help you, okay? Y'all have a track record of this, and then you're trying to get the SSDI checks, and you're trying to get the EBT card, and you're doing this and you're doing that. Made Cynthia go off. What do you think about him, man? What do you think about the cop?
Well, Detective Driscoll, we've been seeing him over the last 2 or 3 episodes because she's sitting at a table being interviewed by him, and I guess those have been flashbacks
Yeah.
where he's trying to get information. As a matter of fact, the episode started with him interviewing her, asking about when did she have her menstrual cycle.
I was always curious on how he came into play. Like where did he come from? I didn't know if Natalia called him, but that's not the case. So I guess do you like his introduction at least, and you trust him or
Yeah,
anything?
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. But I would say the MVP of this thing was the black doctor who was doing things by the book, trying to look out for the child, figuring out through health records because Nutty Nat didn't have sufficient health records, figuring out that she is still number one, she's a dwarf. Number two, she's not of age. Number three, there's 2 things to prove it. One was her teeth, and the other thing, for those of you that don't have a medical background like I do, epiphyseal plate and disc are things that let you know if you still have room to grow. And she pointed that out in this episode, looking at the X-ray, that those epithelial areas show that she's still a child and she would benefit from a surgery. And so kudos go to the black women always having to save stuff. And this time she did what was right. And you saw it rub Cynthia almost into confessing of her sins.
This is true. But this is all. I'm still having the question on like how old is she? Is she really a child? Because maybe she's having periods. She's having her cycle. She has a lot of pubic hair down there, but I guess that's relative because we didn't see that. Don't want to see it. Please don't show us. But also the doctors, I think at the end of episode 4, a lot of them wrote off that she was really of age. So it's just kind of like, what is going on? I mean, I know this is a doctor here. She knows much more than me, but I don't think they see dwarfs every day. So I don't know, man. I am at this point in time. How old do you feel that Natalia really is?
So one thing I wanted to know about the doctor, I want to know, is she a peds doctor or is she practitioner for adults? It's 2 different things.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming Cynthia knows at the time that Natty is supposed to be 22. So I don't think she would bring her to a pediatrician. So I guess it's safe to assume that this was an adult doctor. And I believe that the other doctors in the past just wrote her off because they wanted to get the case out of their hair. Because as you see, she doesn't have a patient history or patient record. She hasn't had x-ray. She's getting these drugs without a diagnosis.
Oh,
And
hold on.
that's damn near.
Can't that risk the license being suspended? The doctors that
I was
wrote
about
off?
to say that's damn near medical malpractice.
Okay.
Damn near medical malpractice to be doing that. Unless you go to an ER and it's something acute, but even that would be a record that you would have. And she has none of that. So kudos to this doctor for holding it down.
right, right on. Hopefully we'll see her pop back up. Also, yeah, Kristine called the lady at the end. She was blowing her up. Like, I wonder how she found out about that. But I mean, is she jealous? Like, oh, did she miss Natalia? Like, I want her to come back. I'm joking, but That was interesting to me. I thought she would have just kind of washed her hands, like, "Oh, we done with this. I never want to see her again." But I guess she really trying to warn her, of.
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
had asked me about this last review. You was like, well, why are they keeping any kind of guardianship or whatever? And I told you they're having to do the benefits. Remember, I spoke about that. They're
Yeah,
having to
yeah,
do the benefits, and that's exactly why they still have an attachment to her, because they're divvying out and holding on to the benefits that they're getting from this girl.
yeah, yeah. You're right. Trying to get recouped for that $7,000 that they dropped at the beginning because Michael don't got no job and can't do a Zoom call interview because he don't got no pants
Right,
on. I'm being silly.
right.
Lamont, what else, bro? What else happened in this episode that kind of just stood out to you, and how you think this is gonna end? I think we got 2 episodes left. Is Natalia gonna get revenge, or the Avengers gonna come through and save the day? What's gonna
This is
happen?
not going to end well with her and this family,
Yeah,
because they've already planted the seed that the mama tried to warn Wagon Dragon Cynthia that she hurts other kids.
yeah,
And Cynthia just said no, because she's so happy because this is a honeymoon phase for them. You know, Nutty Nat is in bliss because this is what she always wanted from her family. But families are tough. Families are hard. There's going to be hard times and hard moments in a family. And we've already seen how Nutty Natalia acts in hard moment after hard moment. And so what we don't know is how is Cynthia and her husband going to act during hard moments. His name was Antoine. Um, we'll see. But they made that whole love, God, triarchy. I'm gonna spray apple juice on you, pretend like it's Jesus blood on you, and we're gonna be bonded in love for life and be Avery. It's not gonna happen. I would not even be surprised if there is some form of molestation that happens with Natty before she leaves this family and is forced to leave this family.
I hope there's no molestation. Only people that I'm not even gonna say that. I just hope there's not no molestation. Even Nat don't deserve that. But at least she got a
The
bath.
recipe is there.
Yeah, at least
The
she got a
recipe is
bath.
there, bro.
We'll see. Hopefully not, though. I'm not rooting for it, but she got a bath and some shampoo and clean clothes, toothpaste and deodorant at the end. So that's cool. She don't look like a sewer rat anymore. Because this is just not working out.
Bro, she was looking like the leprechaun from the movie.
Yeah, yes. Quite tragic, quite tragic. But guys, are those your final thoughts, my guy?
That's it, man. That's it.
All right. Well, ladies
Crazy
and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to wrap it up for our Good American Family Recap Review, Episode 5. Not today, Satan. Not today. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to Lamont's channel. Also, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Lamont would really appreciate it. He has some great things on this channel, like as I do as well, like Godfather of Harlem. And I also have a Sinners review on my channel if you guys want to check that out, and a reaction. And also, me and Lamont did the season finale recap of Daredevil. Check that out on both of our channels. And I have it recorded. I just need to edit it and upload it. My review for Black Mirror season 7, which was really good. Only reason I was interested in that because I saw Tracy Ellis Ross and Issa Rae in the trailer. And I'm like, oh, Black people. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. So, guys, we just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's Lamont. And that's just our opinion. Peace out. And we'll see you next time. Subscribe. Subscribe, 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 subscribe.